Asian region. So as a social analyst, how do you look at this moving?
See, when we talk about violence, violence is a character or an emotion that is inherent to human being itself. But when it comes to male, it becomes more aggressive. It is believed to be so. And talking about domestic violence, the first historical record or historical registration of domestic violence goes back to 1891. So it's a long period, and this is 2011,
right.
and we still are talking about domestic violence and its manifestation in various forms. But you know, the attitude of our society, the construction of roles for women that is constructed by the patriarchal setup, which takes the form of violence, is the patriarchal terrorism. I call it patriarchal terrorism. That comes in various forms, and domestic violence is one of its worst form, because I mean, I really don't understand the fact domestic and violence, you know, together. Both these words, if you take them literally, they have very different meaning. So it's very sad that in a domestic setup, you need to have everything controlled, everything in a very systematic manner. But violence there itself signifies that yes, our society is unhealthy. There is something that has to be done about it. Being civilized, getting modernized in thoughts, in action, education, health issues, constitutional rights, women rights, human rights. But I personally feel that women rights is violence against women is the worst form of human rights being abused. And it's nice to see that people are thinking about it, but somewhere down the line, like I said, 1891 and 2011, we still are working on it.
Which means that something is definitely not right. I mean, a lot is not right.
Yes, talking about more of materialistic aspect of violence or laws and legalities. But you know, when we talk about violence, we need to understand that it's related to emotions of women.
Yes.
Women is not just facing domestic violence. If you see historically, if you see, she faces so many violence in the form of dowry death, in the form of honor killing, in the form of female genital mutilation, in the form of marital rape. Then there are so many crimes related, you know, there are so many crimes related to proving her chastity, proving her morality, across tradition, across culture, across social obligations. There are so many things that she has to keep on proving. So the crux lies in the fact that, are these laws that are being made, is it going to the person or to the subject for whom it is being made? Almost 70% of women are not aware of their legal rights. And there the responsibility of the section, like he said, the women activists, and the section of lawyers like it, and the state itself,
the responsibility of disseminating laws, of creating awareness, is a huge part of the responsibility of the state, because you know, small organizations don't have that kind of infrastructure.
I accept, I mean, what you're saying, but I beg to differ on the fact that, you know, there was this campaign sometimes ago, and it's still going on, Bell Bajao. You know, if you know something is going around wrong in your surrounding, you should go and speak. I mean, it can be that women. It can happen with your daughter also.
Have an enabling law is not sufficient. You need to have an infrastructure and resources commensurate with that law to
reach the last woman.
What he said. If you see historically, if you see in the Indian scenario also, whatever social, you know, religious movement have been to bring women out of problems, and the women empowerment movement, like in Maharashtra, it was Jyotiba Phule and his wife. He brought his wife into the mainframe. It was Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar. So what she said, I would like to add to the concept that women issues are not just gender or feminine issues. You know, they are issues of men also. So we need to be on an equal platform, the men folk as well as the women folk, and work on all various fronts to solve the problems whatever is there. And also I would like to add to the fact that there is invisibility. We have to check on the invisibility of women in power and action. You know, we are making laws, we are trying to implement it, but when it comes to power and action, you don't see many women there. You know, you need to have that representation which is required. So maybe a Delhi police commissioner woman we could see. There's always a question raised that why a woman should be a police commissioner, you know, or various important power positions. There is a question raised. So it only reflects the question of the attitude of the society towards a woman's identity.
That's right, that's right. Well, we'll take this a little further, but before that we have with us Mr. M.A. Hafiz from Andhra Pradesh. So Mr. Hafiz, if you are there with me, welcome to the show.
Hello, good afternoon, madam.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Madam, I am a society general secretary for diverse income. Here a society destroying the values of young ladies and women. I am working the last 2 years to protect domestic violence like these activities, madam. And they are sending to Gulf countries for livelihood and destroying their future and life. So I want to share my complete experience. If you give complete address, and I will post everything from my side.
I'm sorry, I could not really get you clearly.
What he means to say is that, which I would like to touch upon, that there are various religious and social cultural factors that come in the way of rules and laws being implemented to help women, you know, like second marriage or third marriage, you know, there where we are working on the Uniform Civil Code. So if people say that no, our law is good, our particular community or caste law is fine, then why not incorporate that goodness of the law? But we have to have the betterment of the women in mind. Like what he was saying, you have these cases.
Since we are talking about gender sensitization here, and as Kirti also said, that it has to be probably included in the curricula if we talk about. So when you deal with adolescents, don't you think that is also the right age to probably tell them as to how to respect each other, how to think of these sexes first as humans and then as genders?
देखिए कहते हैं कि the first madrasa, the first school is mother, family. So शुरुआत, you know, the beginning should be from your family. What kind of you know, ideal role you're presenting in front of your kids, your children. That if you are loving your wife, if you're giving a good example for your son, then obviously he'll grow up to have that example and follow that example.
Absolutely.
You know, it's right that we have a gender sensitization program for everybody now in university, colleges, schools also. You know, there are students who are working on these kind of projects and interaction with the opposite sex, talking about various issues, the problems. But however, you know, somewhere down the line, I personally feel that it is we as individual of the society need to understand the change that we want to bring our society. You know, we cannot just sit back and think that the law is going to do its work, the police is going to do its work, the constitution is giving you the right, but you need to approach that agency to get yourself things done. So that awareness and that approach to get your things done, to get your work done, that has to be there. And I can only say that if you love your son 50%, then love 5% extra your daughter, because I feel that a woman, a girl has to go in the world, how much ever we might be, you know, progressive, but yes, the girl, the women need to have that respect and need to have that security, you know. For that you need that extra touch of respect, extra touch of love from the police, from the society, from the state also.
And I think
one last solution. Let's not just talk about law and implementation. Let's also talk about, let's also talk about, you know, eradicating the social corruption that we have in our society, and let us have inspiration like Suman ji and Kirti ji, women in uniform.
And also let us have more men like Amitabh, you know.
Yes, and having the same
thinking man, you know. Yes. Well, I'd like to say thank you to all four of you. I really wish that we had more time to carry